Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Alright, guys, it is officially here. The first annual 12 Days of Christmas presented by Tux. As you see, the setup has now been Christmasified. You know, I love Christmas. Actually, hold on. I love everything before Christmas. Because, like, once Christmas gets here, it's kind of gone. But everything before Christmas, the holly jolly spirit, the seasonal stuff that everybody kind of puts on, you know, the Walgreens manager putting a fake ass smile on, you know, to get some extra, you know, customer purchases. I love it all. So I decided, hey, 12 Days of Christmas. You're going to get 12 videos back to back, starting with this one. So it's December 14th, and you're going to get a video every day until Christmas Day. Come on now. Applause. Yeah. So for our first video, we have a Disney Channel original movie, The Ultimate Christmas Present. Now, I don't even think I was alive when this came out, but I remember watching it when Disney was playing it. I think that it, you know, obviously Disney has the reruns, and this stars a young Brenda songs. You know what I'm saying? You know, Wendy Wu, London Tipton, come on now, Home Alone's wife. Yeah. And essentially it's a movie about Christmas snow machine kind of going berserk. That's the only thing I really remember about it. But I'm not going to hold you guys up. Let's get right into. Damn, what? I already forgot what it was called that fast? Oh, The Ultimate Christmas Present. Happy holidays, everybody.
Good morning, Los Angeles.
Boring.
Right off the bat, we're told that this Christmas in Los Angeles is going to be hot as hell. But, you know, Allison, which is the main character, the other girl, that's not Brenda songs, she was not hearing it. She's not buying it. I guess she doesn't hear about, what is it called? The global boiling that's going on. So she just kind of, you know, goes about her merry way. And since she was so bored with, I guess, the warning of the heat wave that's going to be hitting during Christmas, she calls Brenda Song's character Samantha.
Blake Lynch called me and we're invited to his Christmas party. I'll be right over.
It seems like Allison's parents, or Allie, whatever we're calling her, her parents are kind of like the busy, like, business types. The mom is a caterer and the dad is obviously an entrepreneur trying to start this bone company or whatever.
What do you think of when you hear bonesforbowser.com?
A website that sells dog bones?
Exactly.
And he's going on a business trip. Yeah, so I don't know if that comes into play. But fast forward a little bit, we see Allie. I'm gonna call her Allison. I'm grown. Allison is crushing on this kid Blake. I mean, she's doodling Blake bubble letters and hearts, and she's Blake. And so much so that, you know, she's so obsessed with this kid, it seems like that the teacher calls on her. And it's like the cliche, she doesn't know what the heck she even asked there.
Hallee, how's your creative writing paper coming along?
Which one?
The one I assigned last week. 5 pages, single space, due tomorrow.
And even though, you know, Allie didn't know what the heck she was talking about, or I guess the paper that the teacher was asking about, she clutches up. She comes up with some lie about William Shakespeare and Mr. Pickles and, oh, he's flipping burgers and patties. I mean, she's like moving with it. Like, she's quick. Like, I think Mrs. Lopez wasn't going to catch her. Even though she was quick on her feet, it's like the extravagant lie about pickles and Shakespeare flipping burgers, she's got to write about that. And she doesn't have a paper. It's a 5-page paper that was due a week ago, and she didn't write it at all. I mean, they look like they're in 6th grade. I don't remember doing 5-page papers in 6th grade. Maybe that's showing what the education system has become. That seems a little excessive for 6th grade. I mean, maybe 5 paragraphs, but a 5-page paper. I'm in college. I haven't had a 5-page paper I had a 5-page paper a few weeks ago. But you understand what I'm saying. So she's stressing out. But, you know, of course her crush Blake comes and asks them, are they still going to his Christmas extravaganza?
You guys still come to Christmas party? Yeah. And like I said, we'll come over early so we can help decorate. Cool.
That's not what he said. He said party, but extravaganza sounds a lot better.
Joey and his friends take a shortcut through the woods all the time. It'll be perfect. Allie, are you sure about this? Positive.
Allie decides to take her and Samantha through a shortcut in the woods. Which, if this wasn't Disney, this is a horror movie setup. But continuing with the horror movie theme, they find a cabin in the woods. And it's not menacing or whatever, but you know, Allie being the main character, she decides that she wants to explore. She wants to see what's inside of the cabin in the woods. And you know, she's peeking, she's about to, you know, B&E, looking through the window, and she sees this old guy, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what he could do. And she's talking to, I keep saying Brenda, what's her name? She's talking to Samantha, talking about let's do some ding dong ditch. And clearly, you know, Samantha, the only rational person in this movie right now, is like,
hell no, we're not playing no damn ding dong ditch in a daggone
cabin in the woods. So Allison, being, you know, the quick thinker that she is, she tells Samantha, hey, look, if I ding dong ditch, you know, knock on this or ring the doorbell of this creepy old man's house, you've got to do my paper. But if I get scared and I chicken out, I'll do yours. Which is kind of crazy because you just read about pickles. And Samantha said that she's almost done. But Samantha kind of goes with it. It's more like Allie just decides to walk up to the door. But right before she's about to ding dong ditch, this man throws out this contraption and it lands right into the trash can. I mean, he's balling like Curry.
Brother,
Okay.
this guy stinks!
Nah, it's Christmas. Just fake laugh for me.
Turn up.
I'm so out of here.
So this man throws this contraption out of the window. And, you know, Allie gets scared and she runs back to Samantha. And they're kind of watching or whatever. He's walking away, mumbling and grumbling. And for some strange reason, I guess to push the plot along, Allison decides to essentially steal this thing that she has no idea what it is. She doesn't, for all intents and purposes, it's a paperweight. It looks like an egg, like this eggy kind of sharp. It almost looks like a rocket ship, like a fat rocket ship. A fat rocket ship. Okay. Well, either way, she had no idea what it was, but she decided to steal it. And even Samantha said, why are you stealing it? And Allie says,
it's trash. It's mine now.
So they run off with it. And to the old man's surprise, when he decides to get back to find his contraption, it's gone. I mean, just this guy's luck. The millisecond he threw it away and took his eyes off of it for 1 second, he goes back to look for it and it's gone. This is gonna have some major implications throughout the rest of the story. I can only imagine what it's gonna be.
It's kind of cool looking. I wonder what it does. What did you do?
Right off rip, Allison decides to just press a button. And it forms like this vapor that starts to flow in the air. And like I said, if this was a different movie, this would be biohazard, ecological warfare, because the second the cloud starts forming in her room, it starts raining. But like it's like an actual ecosystem of a cloud in her small room, and it started raining on the girls. And you know, they're like, oh my god, this is so cool. I don't find anything cool about having your room flooded and you're gonna smell like mildew and ass. I don't find any of that cool. But I mean, I guess it is cool, the science behind it. The implications behind it are, like I said, mildew and ass. But you know, they're still playing with this little doodad, and it starts raining harder. Like it's raining hard. It gets so crazy that, you know, they're trying to push buttons to turn it off, and a literal lightning bolt strikes the toy. And how lucky are they? Because like, who gets that close to getting struck by lightning and doesn't get hit? Who doesn't get, you know, vaporized? So they get lucky. And Allison, kind of shows that it's a 2000s movie. She says, "Whoa, this is so fierce."
Oh, how fierce is that? What's fierce? Hey, Joey, stay out.
So after Joey decides to leave the girls alone, Samantha says that she wants to turn. So she hits the tornado button and it's stuff swirling around the girls. And then she hits another button and now it's an earthquake in the house. And the only thing I'm really thinking is, if this wasn't a Disney movie, this could be bad. Like, no person should have the power that is like Storm. Like, you are holding a Storm machine from X-Men.
Let's try the snow one. Wow. Oh, this is so rad.
Allie decides that she wants to give LA a white Christmas. And of course she has ulterior motives. She's trying to get out of that damn paper that she lied about. And also their weird obsession with what's his name? Brad? I forgot the kid's name. But the boy that they have a crush on, they're worried about, getting more time to pick out their outfits and getting 2 weeks to write the paper. They decide to create a snowstorm, or that's the idea. And Samantha said,
Oh, we should bring it back. I mean, this thing could flood a city or cause a blizzard or...
this type of power should not be in our hands. But of course, Allison is the main character, so she gets she gets Samantha to go right along with it. But when they try to do the plan, Allie hit the snow machine button and nothing happened. It's just spinning away. It's just spinning away, but no snow. We go to the North Pole, which is kind of crazy because we just totally dropped the bomb that Santa exists in this movie just out of nowhere. But yeah, so we're in the North Pole. We're in the North Pole, and Mrs. Claus is calling about Santa's whereabouts, and they can't find him, so she tells them to bring on the elves.
Hey, Mrs. Claus, you ready to be impressed?
And for some reason, these elves are like 6'5", 250. Well, they're not 250, but like they're 6'5", like they about to dunk or something, looking like Wembenyama. So I guess they're trying to play with like the trope of elves being small. They're actually tall. And they're talking about Santa going into the digital age, and elves are being obsolete, so let's become telemarketers. And Mrs. Claus, she shuts that down fast as hell.
I think it's the worst idea I've ever heard.
Oh.
And as Mrs. Claus is ragging on their idea, the man who threw out the contraption calls her. And he's panicking. He's like, I threw it away.
The weather machine is missing.
The weather machine is missing?
It's gone. It's vanished. It's disappeared.
The elves are talking about look in your pocket. And he's like, man, this don't fit in my pocket. It's huge. It's like a football. So they're trying to figure out how to find this contraption of theirs, this snow machine. So Mrs. Claus says they're going to send their best elves to go look after the machine. And clearly, at this point, you kind of understand now that man is Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, ho!
But they're kind of doing this weird mama and papa thing, and they're kissing over the phone. This is kind of making me uncomfortable.
Give me a kiss.
Mama.
Papa.
Yeah. I like Santa Claus. I like Mrs. Claus, but that's weird. Weird as hell. All the weird stuff between Santa and Mrs. Claus aside, Mrs. Claus wants to send her best two elves, but the two elves, the two tall elves, they're begging her, to please let us accomplish this mission. They want to prove themselves to Santa and Mrs. Claus, and she's not really buying it. She's like, nah, we're not doing this. But they're like, listen, we created something.
See, you're about to witness the greatest invention in history. Introducing North Pole SUV.
SUV?
And they reveal the SUV. It's essentially like a low Corvette on sleds, but it looks pretty cool. It looks darn cool, and that stands for Santa Utility Vehicle. I mean, how much more impressive can you get? I mean, this thing, I mean, come on, it's like, you don't need a Hellcat, you need a SUV, and I'm not talking about a Tahoe.
Allie.
What?
Your father would like to talk to you.
You're gonna get it.
So we're back in Los Angeles, and Allie's dad calls, and he's trying to figure out why, the room was destroyed. Which, in my opinion, the mom didn't react enough. If my mom came in and my room was flooded out of nowhere, that would be a big situation. My dad wouldn't even need to be called. But I digress. So he's asking about, what's going on? You're too old, you're 13. And what if Santa knew? And he's like, haha, being snarky. But
He doesn't know Santa exists.
But in the meantime, Allie's mom looks outside and Benounced to her, it's snowing in LA. And she's like, oh my God, it's snowing. Kids, come here, kids. And they're marveling at the snow.
You are not gonna believe this. It is snow.
What?
And not just them, the whole entire neighborhood is outside looking at the snow. They're singing, Christmas songs. And right now, it seems pretty nice that LA is finally going to get a white Christmas. Back to the weatherman from the beginning of the movie. He's in disbelief that it's actually snowing in LA. He just wouldn't believe it. So much so that he's pretty much denying it on air. They had to throw a snowball at the dude for him to get it. And even after that, he didn't understand how it's happening. He's doing science experiments with blue bubbly stuff, and he's got graphics of the eye of the storm. Yeah, so he's like doing all these experiments to try to figure it out, and he gets called in by his boss, and his boss just decides to rag on him. He's you're boring and you're dull. It's a damn blizzard in LA, and how did you not see it? And meteorologist guy, he's like, I didn't see it because it's non-existent. This came out of nowhere. He's trying to explain like all the nerdy components of how this storm came out of nowhere and it's just staying in one position. The boss is like, the only reason I'm giving you a chance is because I'm married to your sister. And it shows a picture of pretty much the guy in a wig. Yeah, so the boss was like, you're getting one more chance. Find the real story of why this storm is happening in LA. Allie did it. She got exactly what she wanted. They got a snow day. They're cheering and running up and down. And when you look outside, it's concerning. Like, I know they're happy and they're jumping up and down, but my God, is that a lot of snow for LA? It's like, I know it's Disney, but this has to be concerning. And I almost understand why the meteorologist guy is kind of going a little berserk, because this is intense snow. Like, this is wild. This is Alaskan frontier kind of snow. It seems like nobody seems to care about the Alaskan frontier type of snow. They're having a grand time. The neighborhood is going crazy, going, sledding. You see this convertible car driving down the street, literally filled in snow. And the only thing I'm thinking is like, is this safe? Like, that snow is gonna start melting, or you're gonna get frozen. Like, I know it's cool, it's funny, but you're gonna freeze to death. And when that snow melts, that car, that transmission is ruined.
Bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Hey, Mr. C. Sorry we're late. I bet you're glad to see us.
So the elves finally get to Santa, and they're helping him look for the snow machine. They of course not have any luck because Allie stole it. But Santa finds a footprint, and that, he says, is his worst fear.
It's my worst fear come true. The weather machine has been stolen.
And the snow was getting so bad that it's actually snowed in where Allie's dad is. I forgot where they said he was at, but he had to fly somewhere, which is meaning that this is affecting a larger area than just the Los Angeles, diameter. I don't, yeah. So clearly this is a big issue, and I don't want to keep being that guy, but this is bio warfare. This is ecological warfare. Nobody should have this machine. So Santa decides to put in the specs for the footprint that they found in front of his lodge. He's able to decipher it because it's a specific brand of shoe that he delivered over 4,000 times, and he's deducing the numbers, and they're gonna go find this specific person that he delivered these shoes to. So him and the elves suit up, and might I say, they are drippy. They are frosty. Come on now, Frosty no snowman. They put that on. Like they said, look, if you gonna steal our snow machine, we gonna be drippy when we find you, big dog. So I forgot to mention that not only are they looking for the person that got these shoes, they're looking for a girl that was specifically on the naughty list. So in kind of weird fashion, the elves are going around kind of just stopping these little girls and questioning them. It's, you know what I'm saying?
Nina! Got a minute?
Yo, Jennifer, what's up?
I get their elves, but you know what I'm saying? That couldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? I see a 6'5" dude with pointy ears, you know, chasing down my daughter. Just know Santa's gonna be short an elf for Christmas next year. Oh, that's not really holly jolly. I redact that statement.
Hello, Mary Jo.
I didn't take it. It wasn't me. I was at gymnastics.
I believe you. Have a Merry Christmas. And remember, be good.
Mary Jo?
So all the girls Santa and the elves tracked down, he believed them. They were all naughty as hell. I mean, the one girl was licking candy, the bottoms of candy, and putting it back. I mean, that's disgusting. But he believed them and he let them go. But in the meantime, Allie's dad calls from San Francisco, and he's like, "Yeah, look, I'm not gonna be able to make it home for Christmas. We're snowed in." And you know, Joey's all upset that his dad's not gonna make it home for Christmas. But Allison and Samantha, they're like, "Oh, he's gonna make it." They're pretty confident that the dad's gonna make it back for Christmas. And Joey's like, "How do you know?" I mean, little does he know they have control of the snow machine. So they go upstairs to go turn off the snow machine. Allison had no clue that the snow would reach all the way to San Francisco when she's in LA. Allison's like, you know, she couldn't imagine not having Christmas with her dad, that she would miss him. And Samantha kind of makes like this face, and Allison's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then it's revealed to us that sadly Samantha's dad had passed when she was like 3 years old. And Samantha starts talking about how she didn't really know him, but her mom used to tell her stories about her dad and how Christmas was, you know, her dad's favorite holiday. And it's kind of emotional, you know. Samantha sheds a few tears, and as they're talking about that, they see that the snow has stopped.
Look, it stopped.
Right now, everything seems happy. You know, the snow stopped. They made a little Christmas tree for the dad made out of cactuses in case they weren't able to go get a tree before he got back. They're toasting marshmallows and weenies, talking about, oh, you know, dad's gonna be here on Christmas. And, you know, Allie, she wakes up, she's happy. She's like, oh my God, you know, she's pretty much thinking, you know, her dad's gonna be here, right? That's what everybody will be thinking. That's what I will be thinking. She opens the blinds. And it's a damn blizzard. A damn blizzard. She left the daggone Christmas contraption outside. And I hate to be the person to rag on a little kid's decisions in a movie, but why didn't you bring it? Why did you leave it outside? And on top of that, you stole the... Okay, here we go. It's coming. It's coming. The rant is coming. You stole the contraption. You realize the contraption is essentially nuclear warfare. It is a weapon of mass destruction. Something that needs to be in Area 51. Mind you, you're a little kid. You didn't really understand the repercussions of what's going on. You have your fun. You get your snow day. You get to, get more time to hang around with Blake and don't have to do your paper for Mrs. Lopez. That's fine. Once you realize, okay, this is done. We're done with the snow. Why didn't you say, hey, wait a daggone second? This contraption can cause a lot of damage. Maybe I should bring it back to the person I stole it from. But no, you leave it outside and it starts it starts going crazy again, and it's a blizzard outside. It's a blizzard. And let me guess, do you know how to work this thing? You didn't know how to work it when you first touched it. Do you think you know how to work it now when it's creating a blizzard? You are on the naughty list for the next 25 years, Allison. And in all this chaos, Samantha's mom, Miss Belinda, she has to go to work. And Allie's mom was like, I don't think you should be going to work. It's a goddamn blizzard outside. But she's like, oh no, we're understaffed. She's, we gotta go to work. And I'm just praying, because it's a Disney movie. It's not what I think it is, but they're setting it up to where Samantha's gonna be a daggone orphan. And it's gonna be Allison's fault, and there's gonna be this drama that you killed my mom. You couldn't just keep your grimy, grippy, slimy hands away from being a thief and stealing Santa's daggone machine. That's exactly what's going on. But I'm saying it's Disney Channel in the 2000s. I'm praying Miss Belinda is not dying. I'm praying to the Lord right now that Miss Belinda is not dying, because losing two parents, especially on Christmas, is cold-blooded. And it will be all Allie's fault. All of it. I'm putting blame all on Allie. That's what I'm doing. I don't care, I'm a grown man. I'm putting all the blame on that little girl.
The storm originated at 318 Central Avenue. Yes!
Now, since I'm a grown man, I understand that doesn't make any damn sense. I'm not a meteorologist either. But somebody, if you study this type of stuff in the comments, let me know if I'm wrong. There's no way he's pinpointing that to an address. And I hate to be that nitpicky guy, but it's like he's coming out of nowhere. It's like he is like this antagonist, kind of. Like you see him forming into an antagonist, but it really has no standing. Like I don't think this movie needs him. I think the damn snow machine is the antagonist. Now it's like we got the meteorologist guy. Is that the right word? Meteorologist? I don't care. We got the news anchor man now, seemingly gonna be heading to this girl's house. Come on now, this is crazy as hell. We need Santa and the elves ASAP to fix this, because if Belinda dies, I can't take it. Please. Have a holly jolly Christmas.
So he won't be coming home for Christmas, will he?
No, honey.
So after that really sad moment where Allison realizes that she's kind of the cause of, everybody not being able to show up, her grandparents, her aunts and uncles, her dad being snowed in San Francisco, she looks like she's almost about to cry. We go to, once again, this damn anchorman. He's clearly trying to get to Allie's house. But in the midst of that, you really see how crazy this snow is affecting the people of Los Angeles. Cars are revving and spinning their wheels and nothing but snow is just spitting out. They can't move. It's bumper to bumper traffic. But Anchorman here, he's so gung-ho to prove his theory right. He robs a man. He Grand Theft Autos a man of his snowmobile. Now, I don't know why you have a snowmobile in the middle of Los Angeles and where you got it. The right to that vehicle was his, and the Anchorman stole it and he drove off. I'm really starting to see the downfall of the meteorologist. He's having one hell of an antagonist shift in the third act, and I I just can't wait to see where it goes. So Samantha and Allie are trying to figure out how to get this thing to stop working. I'm not gonna lie, Samantha's hitting them with all the greatest ideas. Bring it back to Santa. Allie doesn't like that. Okay, if you don't like that idea, destroy it. She doesn't like that either. What do you want? You know the bright idea Allie had? She pulls out a clothes hanger and says, let's Jimmy rig the antenna and send it into outer space. Like, are you kidding me right now? And even Samantha's like, are you insane? Do you want to start an ice age? And they start arguing. Allie's talking about, well, if you didn't want me to steal it, why didn't you stop me? See, that type of rhetoric pisses me off. So you just have no accountability? You're 13 years old. You don't know that you're not supposed to steal. You don't need somebody to stop you. You're so scared of getting in trouble by the men you stole it from. You're willing to create problems for the entire city of Los Angeles. You're willing to think about it. They don't. I'm sure that they're not building those Los Angeles houses with the same amount of insulation that they are in Alaska. These people are not gonna be able to warm themselves up like that. People are not gonna be able to drive. They don't know what to do with this snow. You're lucky people have daggone winter coats. What do you need a winter coat for when it's 75 degrees year round? She's gonna create a mass problem on the West Coast, and she's worried about getting in trouble. You are a villain. Maybe the Anchorman is right. Maybe he should be gunning for you because you're sick. Are you kidding me right now? And I forgot to mention, in the midst of them arguing, the damn power goes out. So now what I'm saying makes even more sense. Without power, there's no heat. Without no heat, there's no food. Without no food, there's starvation, mass death, mass freezings. Allie, I don't think you should ever get a piece of present ever again. I don't even think you should get cold, because cold warms the bodies. You need to be frozen just like everybody else is. You're gonna freeze to death like this is the day after tomorrow in LA. I'm hoping that's the right movie reference. I gotta remember that you're 13 and you're scared, but you should know better. Don't let this happen again, because if it happens again, people are gonna die. People might die by the end of this. Miss Belinda, I'm praying for you, baby girl. So once the girls finally stop arguing, they decide to come up with ideas on how to stop this damn machine. And they come up with the great idea of putting it in a box. And the only box they can really think about that would, I guess, do the job is Allie's dad's toolbox. But they're not supposed to be going outside, so they have to sneak outside. Joey, of course, being a little brother, he gets in the way. But, it's tattletelling, oh, they're sneaking outside. Ah! The mom, lets him go outside because Allie says, hey, look, we're going out to get flashlights. The power just went out. We need flashlights for an emergency. She lets him go outside. They go outside, and as they're looking around, it's pretty dark. The door slams.
There's some boxes over there, and I think there's some shovels on the workbench. Samantha, can you open that?
Open it? I can't even see.
Ow! 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 Samantha, is that you?
And, they start crashing and banging into stuff, and you hear more than two voices. And would you look at that? It's Santa and the elves. Oh my goodness, they found her ass. And this is what I'm talking about. We need to stop this snow before you get Miss Belinda killed. Okay, get your composure. So, they're like, it's no way in hell you're Santa Claus. So Santa's like, all right, bet, you want to test my gangster? You really think I'm not Santa? He starts spitting off all the info. He's like, oh yeah, Samantha, you like to do this and dance and XYZ. And Allie, you got a crush on Blake. But Allie's still not buying it. So Santa's like, all right, bet, watch this. Look, you and your family not as close as y'all want to be. Oh.
The fact is that you, your mother and father, and even little Joey are so busy going in a million different directions that no one ever has time for one another.
It's like that, Santa? He said, yeah, it's like that. Allie, your mom going one way, your dad going the other, Joey going the other. Y'all don't get enough time for each other. And Allie's like, oh shit, bro. Man, this nigga is Santa. So, you know, Santa had this show game. He had the peep game. He's like, look, come on, don't ever play with me. He's here. So while Santa is dropping bombs like on Allie and Samantha, the Anchorman finally shows up, and he's not playing no games. Look, he gets into the house and immediately he's pressing them on. Who's this? Who's that? What's going on? He's not buying none of this. He knows that the eye of the storm starts here. So you got the antagonist, the Anchorman, only just a matter of a few feet away from Santa. I really do want to know how they're going to wrap this up, because this Anchorman has kind of become the villain very fast. And Santa has just now entered the picture with the girls, which is kind of disappointing. I kind of wish Santa was interacting with the two girls a little bit more, but I guess it's about them. It's about, you know, Samantha and Allison.
I wanted to give people the ultimate Christmas present. A gentle, white snowfall. Be reminded of the magic of the season.
So right as Santa tells his plan of, you know, the gentle snowfall, you know, it looks like he's about to get the machine and fix it. Evil Anchorman, which is kind of weird, he's sneaking around the house. He finds Joey with the snow machine. He takes it from Joey, and he declares that he will be the greatest weatherman of all time, because he'll be able to predict the weather non-stop 100%.
From now on, I will be the greatest weatherman in the world, because I will control the weather.
Now, I get it's Disney, I get it's a kid's show, but that motive's kind of ass, because at best, you'll just be kind of like a novelty thing. Oh, have you heard of the weatherman who never got it wrong? I mean, how far could you really take that? The better thing, if you're a villain, is that you have a machine that could destroy the world. Why are you worried about predicting the weather right? I mean, who does that? I mean, you could be a walking demigod on Earth, and you're talking about being a weatherman? It's like, I guess. I mean, you know, do it float your boat. But if I'm getting that machine, I'm going to be Homelander. I'm not going to lie. I have the power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Hey, who are you? It's that boring weatherman from TV.
Edwin, give me the machine. Give me the weather machine, Edwin.
So Edwin runs right back into Allie's room. He's trying to climb out the window. Santa's like, Edwin, you know, please. This nigga is climbing on the roof, and of course it's snowing outside, so he slips. And might I say, that fall looks like spinal damage. I don't know how he's gonna get up after this, but somehow he ends up getting up, and he gets onto his stolen snowmobile, and he's gone. Zipping and zooming, he's gone. Allie's like, look, I got a shortcut, let's go to it. In the meantime, Edwin, I remember his name now because Santa said it. Edwin is zooming, and he crashes into a candy store, and he flies into what looks like molten chocolate. And really, he should be sizzled alive. The chocolate should melt his skin off, and he should have third-degree burns, but it's Disney, so it's just barely warmed up chocolate, and I'm fine with that.
Over here. Chocolate footprints. Come on.
So they get there, and they follow his little chocolate footprints up to him, and he's hanging off the ceiling like a damn bat, dripping chocolate, and he still doesn't want to give up the machine. It's like, dude, you're caught. And I don't know how the physics of this works. He has this toy candy cane, and he latches it onto a wire, and he zip lines down, but he drops the machine. And I'm thinking to myself, first off, the antenna's not up. How is this thing still producing snow? And why would slow down. So he's dropping the machine by mistake. And they do this slow-mo thing where Allie is like diving to catch it, like, no. And I'm thinking, why would it still be snowing if the machine is broken? Like, am I supposed to believe that North Pole reality is different from our own? Because if I have a phone that is transmitting a transmission, it's transmitting a transmission, that makes sense, but it's transmitting something. It's safe to assume, unless it has other outlets, the second that phone is destroyed, that transmission would cease. So are you telling me that this snow machine works even outside of the reality where it's a thing? Why could we not just destroy it? Why, if it was destroyed, would it keep snowing? Is it like a vapor that, maybe that makes sense. Maybe it's a vapor that needs to be sucked back in. Okay. The back of Santa's cabin, you got the elves holding Edwin hostage. You got the girls helping Santa fix the doodad. He thinks he's got it all figured out, and he can figure it out, but listen, it's simple. It was just batteries. I mean, I don't know why they played it up like it was this grand big thing. They could have just fixed it. They needed Santa's special batteries, Merry weather, something, I don't know. Yeah, so they got the thing to work, and he turns it up to 57 degrees, and it's sunny outside. And Allie's like, so I'm really on the naughty list. Santa's like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you really on the naughty list, but it ain't permanent. It's not permanent. He tells her that, you know, she's a trailblazer and that she can do anything she wants, and he thanks her. He'll never forget that she helped him on Christmas, even though it's all her fault and she's supposed to help because she got it herself into that situation. But he thanks her. She hugs Santa Claus. She gives him a kiss on the cheek. But Edwin ain't trying to hear none of that. Edwin like, man, what the is this? Come on. He's like, man, are you serious? This ain't fair. I wanted nothing but to be a meteorologist in this life. When they was playing on the playground with kickballs and eating sand, I was playing with thermometers. I was looking up at the clouds and I wanted to do what I had to do. And Santa's like, look, I feel bad, but don't worry, I got something for you. I got some. He's like, look, what if I could put you somewhere where the weather is always different, it's always crazy, it's a challenge for you. And Edwin's like, oh my goodness, he's shivering in his boots. And Edwin's like, how, Santa? And Santa's like, look, just believe in me. Just believe. And right about now, it's 5 minutes left in the movie, so I don't know how we're gonna wrap this up. I don't know if we're gonna see what Edwin's do. I don't know if we're gonna see Allie's dad get back, or is it just gonna be like a, you know, oh, I'm hopeful, yeah, hopeful for today. It's gonna be like one of those things where it's like a freeze frame, and they just put, you know, type it out what happens, because we still need time for credits. But yeah, let's watch these last 5 minutes and see how it ends.
Your gift should arrive right about now.
So Allie's dad was able to get back home, you know, due to the elves. You know, they have their moment, you know, isn't this the ultimate Christmas, Dad? And then, you know, the cliche Disney, thanks, Santa. Like, that's cool and all. I was really more so worried about what happened to the Anchorman. And the Anchorman is in Antarctica teaching other versions of himself about the weather. My big thing with this is they just put him in one extreme. He was in one extreme, and they put him in the polar opposite. So essentially, after a few years, won't he be in the same predicament that he was in Los Angeles? I mean, how many days of broadcasting the same blizzard, tundra can be fun? Why did they put him in somewhere like Maryland or like you know, somewhere where it's like the weather varies, you know, even if it's from season to season, the weather can vary. It could be a hot spring or a colder summer. They put him in Antarctica, like that's not going to be the same exact thing as Los Angeles, but -3 degrees. But overall, this movie was pretty good. I really have no complaints besides like the plot holes. But it's a Disney movie. It's classic. It doesn't really feel like super Christmassy to me. Like, that's my big thing with this. Like, I never got that feeling of Christmas. And I think that's because this is in Los Angeles. And the whole point of it is that this is not normal for Los Angeles. So it didn't really give me that Christmas vibe, if that makes sense. And maybe because, like, the score isn't, like, really too prominent. But I really did enjoy watching this. This is kind of like a new style of the way I do this. I'm playing with like the style of how I do like these kind of videos where I'm talking about like a movie or a TV show. But yeah, I liked it. I don't really have any too, the antagonists, you kind of could have went without them. I think maybe it would have felt more Christmassy if it was really just about, them putting more emphasis on the pops, and maybe Allie said something like mean, and this is so cliche, but like I said, it's Disney. Maybe Allie said something mean to her dad or something, and then she realizes, okay, everybody doesn't get to have their dad on Christmas because Samantha doesn't get to have her dad ever on Christmas because he died, and she's like, dang, I really said those hurtful words to my dad before Christmas, and now he's snowed out and he can't get here, and it's really about Santa teaching her, first off, don't steal, but also like your actions have consequences, and you never know what could happen. Like I don't know. I feel like it should be like a bigger message because it's Christmas, and those movies, Christmas movies, usually have like a message, especially when it's like kids involved. You're supposed to teach a message, and that's what I would have done. But like I said, it was 2000. They just gone and killed my whole Christmas vibe. Well, with that being said, that was. Damn, I keep forgetting this movie name. That was the ultimate Christmas present. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, it's going to be a video tomorrow. And you can enjoy that video tomorrow too. But in the meantime, why not subscribe so you know when that video comes out tomorrow? Subscribe. Please subscribe. It would make my Christmas if, just one of you subscribe. But thanks for watching. I love you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow.